Continuing with the tradition of reviewing bad Pink Panther films.
The Pink Panther, Steve Martin.
No, I'm not reviewing the Steve Martin remake, but I will get to it. No, instead today I'm reviewing a much older film that very few people even talk about. In the 1960s, the first two films, The Pink Panther and A Shot in the Dark, proved to be successful. So successful that a third film was commissioned. But Blake Edwards and Peter Sellers weren't interested in the project, as they were busy doing the movie with Sellers playing a stereotypical Indian in brownface. So instead, a new team of people was brought in to make the film, but this involved many changes, most notably Clouseau being the only returning character, so that means you won't be seeing Inspector Dreyfus, Cato, or even Sir Charles Lytton. All of this resulted in the 1968 film Inspector Clouseau. If we were to make comparisons, Inspector Clouseau would be the Halloween 3 of unofficial sequels. It exists, but it's made by different people, it's an inferior version, it doesn't feel like it's part of the same franchise, and it might as well be its own film. But are there some redeemable qualities, or is it as bad as the rest of the films that I've reviewed? Probably, but let's take a look at Inspector Clouseau. At least the film opens up with the animated credit sequence. It's probably the only thing they didn't mess up. The music just doesn't sound the same without Henry Mancini. The story starts off in swing 60s London, where we get the arrival of Clouseau, this time played by a very young Alan Arkin.
Have you anything to declare?
No, I'm just your average typical French tourist on a humble English vacation.
Good. Well, can I see your passport?
That's...
Terrorist!
I have this! Hey, look at this! Don't grab me by the arm like that!
Oh, I guess the whole airport incident didn't really matter. So anyway, Clouseau is on a mission by the British government to stop a gang of robbers.
And the one still remaining in custody is Addison Steele. But then you don't look much like a detective, do you?
I try not to.
Good.
Did Clouseau try to kiss the commissioner? He was looking at him in such an intimate way.
But I have to tell you that we have recently discovered a security leak in this very department. But you must trust no one. The viper in our bosom could be anyone.
I suspect everyone.
You will report only to me.
And what makes you think I trust you?
The first rule of counter-espionage, darling, is to suspect everyone. Believe me, I shall be asking myself some pretty searching questions later on.
Clouseau goes to meet one of the criminals in prison, who also happens to be the barber.
Oh, that's excellent steel.
You call that a prison haircut?
Special privileges.
Smart young criminal?
He's the warden's son. Quite a joker.
That's why he has his hair cut in prison. It's free and saves a lot of money. Yeah, leave the detective all alone with the criminal barber. Just hope he doesn't try and give him a Sweeney Todd shave.
In the words of Robespierre, de la tête le plus chaude, n'est que la prendre.
Just take a few deep breaths. There you go.
I think you'll be pleased with these items that you requested.
Did we miss a plot point? Do we have to assume that the criminal escaped jail that easily? What shitty security!
Observe my belt, you see. 322s. Miniature missiles. Fires with deadly accuracy up to a distance of 500 yards.
Correct!
So because this movie came out at the height of James Bond mania, he gets several gadgets from Superintendent Weaver, played by Frank Seriously Fire Your Agent Finlay.
Hello, me.
For your pipe!
Why, oh why did we not hire Philip Marlowe instead of this buffoon?
We have a lot in common.
Oh, yes. Our lives in the game of crime and punishment are bound like lovers inextricably together.
Again, look at how they're talking and touching each other. I keep expecting them to kiss each other romantically.
You don't know my wife, but I'd be delighted. Shall we say 8 o'clock? Dinner? Charmed, I'm sure.
Come on, admit your true feelings. Clouseau goes to Weaver's house where he meets his maid, who reminds me of Keira Knightley, and his wife, who is Scottish and proud.
What are you muttering about, Weaver?
Just shop talk, my love, just shop talk.
Come along now. I will not hear another word about it. Come along.
She drags them to this Scottish festival that looks more like Santa Claus's workshop. Just look at his stupid appearance. That's like the most suspicious looking criminal ever. Never hire Rasputin as your henchman.
I have it! 175, I have it! I want the prize!
If I didn't know about the belt, I would have thought Clouseau shot him with his penis.
Oh, good gracious me. Shooting may be an everyday occurrence to you, but it's left me quite unstrung.
The assassination doesn't affect the wife, who fancies Clouseau a bit too much.
You bad wee boy. Where's that drink you were going to pour for me?
I looked all over for it. I can't find any whiskey anywhere.
Oh, you are so much more attractive than my husband.
Well, it's time for me to take my leave, dear lady.
Oh, the excitement.
The time has come.
I think we're watching the comedy version of Play Misty for Me.
It's a sick lady in there.
Clyde Hargreaves, Blackpool prison.
Oh, yes, the son of the warden, the one with the warped sense of humor. There is a time for laughing and a time for not laughing, and this is not one of them.
I don't trust people who go around looking like Jimmy Savile.
But I'm afraid that the way you work are not the ways that we work here at Scotland Yard.
Well, of course not.
Clouseau joins the League of Smoking Gentlemen, where he finds a clue that leads to a hotel, but finds company along the way.
Well, what seems to be the trouble?
It's my new car. I don't know what to do.
Or over here?
Did you fix it?
No, it's completely ruined. Can I take you somewhere?
She asks him to take her conveniently to the same hotel where he's going. I'm starting to suspect that she's working for the bank robbers.
Oh, don't let me stop you.
Oh, I think the movie's viewing figures have just gone up.
Are you trying to keep a policeman from his duty?
Don't you want to kiss me?
And I am not going to be dissuaded from my duty. Let me have a breather.
He goes to the bathroom for 5 minutes, but when he comes back, there's a different woman in bed.
I don't suppose that you've seen anything of a tall brunette in a short slip, have you?
No.
I tend to notice little things like that, whether a girl is a blonde or a brunette.
C'est la vie.
Like a jungle animal.
Woo!
I guess French people are truly great womanizers.
Soon help you. How's that?
Oh, that's nice.
Is that better?
Ah,
No.
very good.
Better?
But it turns out that they are working for the bank robbers, who pour rubber on his face to make a mask, just as the British authorities are fed up with the inspector.
You must admit he does get results. I prefer the sort of results that culminate in suspects standing trial.
I think I may have the answer to your problem, sir.
They send Clouseau back to France to spy on the villains who are attending Rasputin's funeral. He tries to find transportation leading to, I will admit, a funny scene.
How much? How much for your motorbike? I'll give it this much.
Give it a good kick, huh?
Yeah.
Stop, thief! Did you see that? He stole my motorcycle. Oh, nowadays you can't trust anybody.
He follows them through the city streets, coming across many flamboyant bystanders and causing as much damage as possible. Hey everybody, I am the dead man's killer.
Et toutes nos condoléances. Aimé et respecté.
Never make that gesture again, for the love of God! That's the face of someone who is trying to lure that kid into whatever sick thing he has in mind.
Get into the car, Jacques! Quick!
He gets rescued by the maid we saw early on at Weaver's house.
A member of the International Police? Don't make me laugh. I arrest you in the name of the Queen.
This crook is Lieutenant Morel of Interpol. Who the devil are you?
He's the guy who always forgets to bring the keys to his handcuffs. Meanwhile, we cut to the bank robbers, and the warden's son turns out to be their leader, who has made several identical masks of Clouseau.
On Saturday afternoon, we are going to rob the biggest banks in 13 of the biggest cities in the country. And who gets blamed? Inspector Jacques Clouseau.
Clouseau investigates the place, but is followed by several henchmen, one of them played by the Master from Doctor Who. Oh, who would have thought the Master would be so easily defeated by an idiot?
Maudlin claptrap.
All right, Stockton. Come on, over to the wall.
Hey, what's up, Weaver?
Weaver turns out to be the mole who leaves a fake clue so that Clouseau takes the train to Switzerland.
Well, when you get to Zurich, if you run into more than you can handle,
Up to now, I think I've done pretty well on my own, don't you?
Kiss me, darling.
Feathers in the horse, duck in the soup. Weaver! What are you doing here?
Why did Weaver have to hide the gun when Clouseau was looking at him? Just finish the job! Is he ashamed to look into the eyes of his victims? Does he prefer to kill without any witnesses, even if the witness is the man he's trying to kill?
Funny. What are you doing?
Turn around, stop looking at me!
Why?
Well, I don't like being watched by anyone, even from my own victim.
I am not going to stop you.
No, turn around, you're embarrassing me.
Nope.
Assassination attempt failed.
Oh.
Weaver! American, finish this!
He does try to kill him by throwing him out of the train into the projection screen. Oh, no. How did he land on the grappling hook? That's bullshit. So the villains, disguised as Clouseau, arrive at Zurich, where they trick the bank presidents into moving all of their money to different places for safekeeping.
After months of meticulous police work, we have managed to piece together a picture of what we think the crooks will do. When the time comes, I shall fly by helicopter to the unlucky bank and personally supervise the transference of all funds.
That's strange. Clouseau doesn't speak with a French accent, his speech sounds intelligent, and he isn't clumsy. Perfect!
Under no circumstances whatsoever are you to follow any instructions from an intermediary. Only that way can you be sure that your money is safe.
In their rip-off of the Italian job, the robbers disguised as Clouseau all go to the different banks at the same time to withdraw all the money. Just how they were able to convince these big shots to leave their fortune in the hands of the same man is a big mystery. All the vans arrive at the warehouse where they hide the money inside chocolate bars. I'm starting to see how Willy Wonka got the funding for his chocolate factory. They get the cash onto a boat, while the real Clouseau is framed and arrested for the robbery.
If there is one thing I despise, it is a cop gone bad. Have a care who you're calling a cop. I happen to be a full inspector.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
Jacques!
This fellow's ill. Look after him.
Here, that's mine.
Weaver tries to kill Clouseau disguised as the inspector. What's the point? He's already facing jail. Impressive split screen, or at least until the last frame of the shot that gives away the illusion.
Get him! This person! Hit this!
Blind chance. They figure that the money is hidden inside the chocolate bars, but Clouseau mistakenly gives a false lead to the press.
It could be anywhere, so if your chocolate bar has money in it, be sure and contact me, and I promise you not only the gratitude of the Swiss government, but the free chocolate bar as well.
Now the movie is becoming like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Everyone in the world is getting chocolate bars to see if any of them carried the golden ticket. Roald Dahl must have been very proud.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Is that you?
He spots one of the criminals leading to a car chase, but it's about as exciting as watching turtles move in slow motion. You fool! You told me this car could float!
Hey, what you got there? Brought you a little present. Present?
He gets captured and locked up with the Interpol agent. Oh yeah, I forgot she was in this film. She hasn't been much use.
What are we going to do, Jacques?
I don't know what we're going to do. I ruin everything I touch.
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Arrested twice. I don't deserve to have this autographed picture of Sean Connery.
Oi, leave me out of this!
No, everything's going to turn out all right.
It's not! They're going to kill me! They're going to kill me, I tell you!
Thanks, I needed that.
Ah, the slap. The worst kind of medicine to keep someone calm.
Okay, you two, let's go.
He secretly activates the laser in his lighter, causing the boat to sink.
We're sinking! For heaven's sake, abandon ship, everybody!
That's just great. Tons of money at the bottom of the river, and the bank robbers managing to escape and probably continue their illegal activities. But at least Clouseau now feels a lot better about himself.
Goodbye, my darling.
Goodbye.
See you next week.
Yes, a week of loneliness, my dear, but I will have everything ready for you when you come.
He takes his flight back home, but guess who happens to be sitting next to him?
Inspector.
Yes? Mrs. Weaver!
The widow Weaver, for our first night alone together in that naughty Paris of yours.
Wow, she really didn't give a damn about her late husband. I would rather drink bleach with Peter Falk than spending a minute with you. And that was Inspector Clouseau, and no, it isn't as bad as the other films in the series, but it's still an unsatisfactory product. There are some funny scenes, and Alan Arkin could have been a perfect Clouseau had he been given better writing and direction. A large portion of the film is just him doing stuff that doesn't go anywhere, and surrounded by characters who aren't the slightest bit interesting. The pacing feels much slower, and some of the jokes don't have a proper payoff and therefore feel incomplete. So yeah, there's a reason why this film isn't well remembered. It's not funny enough to be entertaining, and it's not bad enough to be memorably awful. It's just there. I am a standard critic, and no thanks for having me watch this.